Chapter 54. As he puzzled this over, Yang Jian reappeared. "You fool! How dare you try your paltry tricks on me?" He lunged at Sun with his lance. Sun had no choice but to turn back and continue the fight. They fought fiercely for a long time. Yang Jian then set his sky-barking hound on Sun, but as soon as the dwarf saw it, he twisted his body and disappeared into the ground. Yang Jian was greatly alarmed. How can we expect to win the day when they've got men like this? He returned to the city with a troubled look, and Jiang Ziya asked what was troubling him. "We're facing a new threat. The dwarf can also travel underground. We'll have to take strict precautions in case he steals into the city from beneath us. But what can we do to stop him? How can we cope with such a situation?" Jiang Ziya was depressed. "From what I could observe, he's certainly using the celestial binding rope. Today when I was bound up, I looked at it carefully. Let me go to the Flying Cloud Cave and ask about it," Yang Jian proposed. "That doesn't deal with our present needs. We ought to concentrate on guarding the city against Sun," Jiang Ziya replied. Yang Jian dared not press the point further. When Sun returned to the Sheng camp, Dang Zhougong asked him, "Did you win today? With whom did you fight?" When Sun told him the story, Dang said encouragingly, "May we win the final victory as soon as possible. When we return, your outstanding service will certainly not be overlooked. I'll enter the city secretly tonight and assassinate both King Wu and Jiang Ziya. That way we'll achieve immediate victory and I can consummate my marriage at an early date." Earth Traveler Sun thought. He said, "Commander, don't worry. I'll enter the city tonight and kill King Wu and Jiang Ziya. Then we can take their heads back to Zhaoge. Without its top leaders, West Qi will collapse of its own accord. How can you enter the city? My master taught me how to travel 1,000 li a day underground. I'll have no difficulty entering the city," Sun replied. With great delight, Deng Zhougong ordered a celebratory banquet to entertain him. Jiang Ziya was pondering what to do when a strange wind whirled up, breaking trees and churning up the river. Doors and windows were blown from their hinges, and huts and cottages collapsed. With a sudden crash, the thick pole of a big banner outside the silver security court snapped in two. Jiang Ziya quickly burned incense and made a divination. Reading the results, he pounded the table and cried in alarm. "How terrible! What Yang Jian said is right. The dwarf will enter the city tonight to assassinate us." He took action at once. He ordered his men to move King Wu to his mansion, and had all his generals gather there, swords unsheathed and arrows ready. 3 mirrors were hung above the gate and 5 more over the grand hall. The buildings were to be closely guarded at all times. All the generals were soon ready, and when King Wu arrived, he asked, "Why did you invite me over, Prime Minister? I've been lecturing the generals on military stratagems. We'd like you to join us at a banquet." Jiang Ziya lied to him. King Wu was delighted. "I greatly appreciate the diligence of your service. May the war be soon over so we can enjoy peace and prosperity together." Jiang Ziya ordered his men to lay the table. He drank with King Wu, discussing military and state affairs, but he mentioned nothing of Earth Traveler Sun. Drinking in the Sheng camp into the early evening, Sun finally took his leave of Deng and other generals. As they watched, he gave a twist of his body and disappeared into the ground. Deng Zhougong clapped his hands in delight. "It's the great fortune of His Majesty that's given us such a marvelous person. We don't have to worry about West Qi anymore." Entering West Qi City, Earth Traveler Sun looked here and there until he spotted the Prime Minister's residence. He saw all the Zhou generals on either side of Jiang Ziya, swords at the ready. He waited patiently underground for a chance to attack. Then Yang Jian entered the hall and whispered something to Jiang Ziya. Jiang Ziya immediately asked King Wu to retire to a secret chamber closely guarded by 4 generals while he himself sat quietly in the hall, protecting himself with his spiritual energy. After waiting for a long time, the dwarf became impatient. "I'll go and finish King Wu off first. It won't be too late to come back here for Jiang Ziya," he decided. He left the Prime Minister's mansion and went to the palace. He heard the sound of beautiful music coming from the inner apartments and saw King Wu drinking happily with his concubines. The dwarf was overjoyed and waited underground for the right opportunity. Soon he heard King Wu say, "Stop the music. The city is at war. Everyone retire for the night." Before long, snores could be heard from the bed chamber. Eager to seize this chance, Earth Traveler soon emerged from the ground and found the chamber still lit brightly by red lamps. Cutlass at the ready, he climbed up onto the dragon bed, hooked back the curtains, and found King Wu sleeping soundly. With a single stroke, he cut off the king's head. As he threw it down from the bed, he noticed King Wu's concubine, still sleeping soundly at his side. She was extremely beautiful. Her face was like a peach blossom, and the fragrance from her body filled his nostrils, stimulating his deepest desires. "Who are you, sleeping like a log?" he yelled. "How dare you intrude here so late in the night?" The woman woke up in fright. "I'm Earth Traveler Sin, General of the Vanguard for the Shang Army. I've already killed King Wu. So make your choice. Do you want to live or die? I'm only a weak woman. You would gain nothing by killing me. Please have mercy on me. If you don't consider me too ugly, I'm willing to serve you. I'll never forget the favor." The concubine begged him pitifully. Earth Traveler Sun was filled with lust and was delighted to hear this answer. "Okay. I'll spare you, but you've got to sport with me." The woman smiled sweetly and promised to do anything the dwarf wished. Unable to control his lust, Sun immediately took off his clothes, climbed onto the bed, and slipped under the quilt. He was about to embrace the woman when she suddenly held him tightly in her arms, almost squeezing the breath out of him. "My beauty. Please loosen your arms a little. Damned fool. See who I am." The woman shouted. "Guards! Seize him!" Earth Traveler Sun looked up and saw no woman but only Yang Jian. Yang Jian carried him out of the palace, careful that he could not touch the ground, lest he take the chance to run away through the earth. Humiliated at being caught totally naked, Earth Traveler Sun closed his eyes and made no attempt to resist. In the Silver Security Court, Jiang Ziya heard the beating of drums and the shouts of the guards. He was about to investigate when the Gataman came in. "Prime Minister, Yang Jian has captured the dwarf." Jiang Ziya was overjoyed to see Yang Jian with the naked dwarf. "I can't let him touch the ground because he'll get away," Yang Jian explained. "Take him out and cut his head off," Jiang Ziya ordered. Yang Jian took Sun out of the Prime Minister's mansion. But as he shifted the dwarf from his right hand to his left so that he could draw his sword, the dwarf struggled with all his strength and touched the ground. He disappeared under the earth before Yang Jian could pull him back. "I'm sorry to say that the dwarf escaped when I changed hands," Yang Jian told Jiang Ziya. Jiang Ziya said nothing. Their efforts that night thus ended in failure. Having escaped with his life, Earth Traveler Sun went back stealthily to his own tent first to dress. He then went to the camp gate to await Dang Zhougong's orders. "How did it go?" Dang Zhougong asked when he was admitted. "The palace and the Prime Minister's mansion were so closely guarded I couldn't get an opportunity to take any action. I had to return at daybreak." Meanwhile, Yang Jian had gone to see Jiang Ziya. "Let me go to the Flying Cloud Cave to see Krakukanda and find out about the dwarf. I'll also ask about his magic ropes. I'm afraid that he'll come back here tonight. Just don't be too long. I understand the situation. I'll be back here as soon as possible. We don't have to worry about him for the time being." Yang Jian reassured him. He left West Qi for Dragon Squeezing Mountain. If you want to know what happened, read the next chapter.